I don't blame them for doing this. I'm a capitalist. Charge as much as you can. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, hey, dear buyer, like, negotiate.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I have seen everybody negotiating right now. I haven't seen anybody that's been like, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
But I do feel like there's a lot of buyers out there, just like there's sellers that are, they don't realize what they're doing when they first start listing their property that they think is from 2 years ago. Some buyers are unrealistic as well. They'll come in, I've got a property right now for $3.5 million. I got an offer for 2.5.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
$1 million less. I'm like, I told the agent, you just wasted your time, my time.
Welcome to Stop Whining About Real Estate. Join us as we chat, sip, banter, and wine with the best in the biz. Grab a glass of your favorite vino, sit back, relax, and let's wine together. Welcome to Stop Whining About Real Estate. I am your host, Sarah Biernbaum. With me is my co-host, CEO of Choice Mortgage Group,
007 Spy Extraordinaire,
Emmanuel St. Germain, and our beautiful, amazing powerhouse of a guest, Becky Mancini, agent at Remax, and really excited to have you here because the last time I think we all saw each other was your birthday, and then you had Emmanuel on the show.
Was that the last time? No, I've seen you out in Delray.
We've seen before.
Man about town.
Although right before the introduction, we were talking about, and what I actually don't know if she's been on a date or not. But did you see the guilty face and did you see the pressure?
There wasn't.
And all of a sudden, like this, you guys are the ones who are parents. I just want to teach you to know when your kids are lying.
Oh.
You see the emotional. You see like what she went through. Like even if you hadn't been, there was so much guilt there, like you've mentally been on one.
Well, I hadn't mentally been on one, but I don't.
Wait, what's the difference between mentally being on a date and physically being on a date?
Like if there was like a conversation of a date being planned and maybe it was in the works.
Something definitely happened. You saw how she paused.
Well, I was just wondering if you were fed information by someone who thought I could have been on a date.
How and why would I be fed?
Why are you two not dating?
Not interested.
No.
Well,
first of all,
there's a lot of tension.
Well, because we work together all day.
No, it's fun. She's like my sister.
Okay,
also, he is the big brother I never wanted. And I think I'm his outlet because he can't make fun of and poke at people the way that he does with me, like the other employees.
Well, it's not nice to do that to other women.
Or people in general. I love your blazer, by the way.
Thank you. I need to be in springtime.
Do you mind where you got it from? Please tell me. Or do you not remember?
I don't know. We'd have to look at the tag.
Okay,
we'll look at the tag before I leave because I really have no clue.
Okay, because I love it.
Thank you.
And it's a good blonde person blazer.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Us
really
blonde
good.
need some bright colors,
We do.
especially during springtime.
Yes.
Yeah. My body was feeling I needed bright colors.
I need that, a tan, vacation, to win the lotto.
Me too. All the above.
How's business?
Business is great, honestly. I have a ton of sellers right now. I think I have a total of 11 properties on the market for sale. If they're priced right and if they are redone, they are going very, very quickly.
That's amazing.
If they're outdated or if their sellers are still expecting a certain price, they're staying a little bit more on the market. So it really depends on the property.
Okay.
What do you think has been the difference? Like, would you say that this is a more busier time than you've been in the last couple of years?
For like Q1, let's say.
So Q1, I feel like I have a lot more sellers right now than I've had. Well, I guess not. I guess I've had a lot of sellers before all at once, but houses have been moving very quickly. So this is the longest I've had 11 properties on the market that are, stable right now. They've been on the market, anywhere from 10 to 30 days.
Got it.
That's still not really a long time.
That's really not a long time.
No.
No, but I think the turn times I actually think that that's a really good thing for everybody because as long as you get them sold, you're doing your job. You're making your revenue and you're doing right by your clients. But it really is like I love this market. I just wish rates were lower from a payment perspective for clients.
Yeah.
But what I love about it is I love the lack of pressure that a buyer is put under to go buy a house.
Everybody has a little breathing room to negotiate and get what they need.
Just a little bit, like 20, listen, like you go show Sarah a house and she has time to breathe, sleep on it. Okay, you know what, Becky, I like that house. Let's make the offer, start the negotiation as opposed to, like waive this, waive that. You got 10 minutes to make your offer.
Right. And she can look at multiple properties and give it a couple days to digest what she's just seen and make the right decision based upon her and her family.
Yeah.
As opposed to literally writing offers that are over asking price, giving away your firstborn child and your entire bank account.
Yeah.
So things are a little bit different now than they were a couple years ago. But I do feel like things are still moving. We have a ton of buyers. I was at Lotus, the new development that just opened up, and they closed 18 houses on Saturday. So there are buyers. People are buying.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of buyers. We don't have a shortage of buyers.
Not at all.
Don't think. I live in Delray, and I was looking over at some of the new construction over there, and some of it, like I saw this house for $14.9 million. Okay, this is in Lake Ida. You're not on the ocean. It's not even on a lake. It's a corner lot, right? You're not on the intercoastal.
You're not on the ocean.
No, but I don't mean it.
Is
it's
it
not
brand new?
What's the square footage?
It doesn't matter.
14,000 square feet.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not like you're not like Fox Chase where you got an acre of land. Like what's the big why? Who on earth is paying anywhere near that amount of money to have no lot, to have nothing? You can't go. It's not like you're playing baseball outside with your kid, right? Like you don't have that much. 15 million, the price per square foot, I'll look it up because I drove by the house. I was shocked. I'm like, it's insane.
Because sellers are being unrealistic right now. Some sellers are still back from 2 years ago, and they have
that's a developer, but yes, them too.
They have it stuck where they think they can get X amount of dollars for their property. There's a property out by me right now that's on, I think it's like 10 acres. It has a house. It has like a little bit of a ranch. This is not my listing. I do have a listing up in Palm City that's 30 acres. But this one is not my listing, and it's listed for $60 million. Right. I thought there was like $60 million. I thought it was a typo.
Is that the guy you met?
Wait, do you know about this property? 60 million. Yes, 60 million.
The one up north?
No, it's right here.
No.
You met somebody with a $60 million property
this
up
guy,
north?
He was he's a really sweet old guy. He comes in to bounce. And so it's a sports bar that I'm an investor in. Anyway.
Oh, you're an investor in that?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I've been there.
we go to, so he comes in and he's got, I think Tennessee's his team.
Tennessee.
So he comes in during Saturdays. He's got all orange. He's
college
old.
Football.
He's not young
that old.
How old is not old, and how old is old?
He looks twice as old as I do.
He's not. He's in his very early 60s.
Oh, so it's
he's lived well. He's weathered.
No, he looks like he's 80 something.
He's not 80. I promise you. I looked him up.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, look him up.
I did.
Give me his phone number. We'll look him up right now.
No. I would have guessed 80. He doesn't look 60.
He parties hard.
My dad's 64.
Oh, I understand.
That's,
And he has a residence that's $60 million?
No, the guy, he had land. He had just a ton of land that was selling.
He was partnering with possibly PopStroke, building something up there.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just meant in general that I would say this, a tip for buyers right now. So we're a preferred lender for one of our builder partners. And when they build multiple houses, that's one thing. They've already got that, just like Lotus, right? You're not negotiating with them.
Right.
Their prices are all built in. What I would say, though, my tip to a buyer is that any spec house, there's a lot more negotiating room than you think. Right. And it's that house that's being for sale for $15 million in Lake Ida that's not on the water anywhere and
not on
doesn't
the ocean.
have a big lot or anything like that.
It's on the water, right?
It's not.
It's not even on Lake Ida?
It's not even on the lake or the intercoastal. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, that's what I was like, hold on. I thought it was on the Lake Ida.
I'll go show you the house when we're done. It was crazy. My point is that house will sell maybe at best $10 million. Maybe 12 million.
I was going to say 8.
But all I'm getting at is I've got a friend of mine had a house, I think he was listed for 10 and a half. They closed at 8. You don't see, you wouldn't think that. So on a normal, any of your listings, I'm assuming they're 2 million and under, a 20% price cut is not acceptable in most markets. In some of these, I feel, this is just my personal intuition, that these spec homes, again, not the builders that do mass homes, because that's a whole different ballgame, but some of these spec builders, you've got a lot of wiggle room to negotiate. What do you think?
I do think there's a lot of room to negotiate with the spec homes.
There's so much profit in those right now.
There are, especially because it's not up to what you requested. So it's up to whatever that builder or whoever decided to put in there for their liking or whatever they felt the upgrades were. So you could definitely negotiate because they cut corners on certain things. And they know that when they're doing
everything. They mark everything up. And rightly so. I get it. Like, I don't blame them for doing this. I'm a capitalist. Charge as much as you can. I'm just saying, hey, dear buyer, like, negotiate.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I have seen everybody negotiating right now. I haven't seen anybody that's been like, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
But I do feel like there's a lot of buyers out there, just like there's sellers that are, you know, they don't realize what they're doing when they first start listing their property that they think is from 2 years ago. Some buyers are unrealistic as well. They'll come in, you know, I've got a property right now for $3.5 million. I got an offer for 2.5.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
$1 million less. I'm like, I told the agent, you just wasted your time, my time. You know, you
Let's
just
go
wasted everyone's
psychology
time.
there, Becky. Will you, I mean, so I again, and I don't know the rules or rules or laws, but in general, like you're forced to present that offer.
Yes.
But that being said, I want to flip this. I want to use your 11 listings and I want to learn the strategy that we can teach buyers on how to properly negotiate based on you're going to go present this to a seller.
Correct.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
So Sarah, you're going to be our buyer, or Janine and Roy are buyers, right? And Sarah's their agent, and they're going to make an offer on one of your properties. Now flip the script. Don't be the listing agent. Be her coach. What are some of the things that you would teach the agent and the buyers? How can they win over one of your houses?
First rule is don't insult the seller.
Ooh. Give an example. How?
So first
like
of all,
price. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess where's the threshold of insulting, right?
So price is number one because people, that's their home.
Right.
If this was not
And
their
it's
investment,
emotional.
exactly. If this was not their investment properties, you can insult them all day long. They don't care.
It's math.
Right. It's math. It's a numbers game. But if you're talking to somebody, you know, that's a seller and they've been there for 20 something years and they've got family pictures there, they have memories. So they're not just selling the house, they're selling their house and their memories. So you never want to insult the seller first, you know, because they're attached. The majority of these sellers are in love with their home. They're sad to be downsizing or whatever it might be. So I would go in saying, okay, well, let's really look at the comps. You know, the most important thing also is to educate the buyers. It's not so much writing up the offers. It's educating the buyer saying, this is where we're at in the market. This is where I think it's going to be, you know, as opposed
on this.
Based upon the comps. This is what we're looking at. What do you feel comfortable with? Usually I ask the buyers first, like, what do you feel comfortable with? So I know what their threshold is. And then I run the comps and I'm like, well, that's how you feel, but this is actually the reality of it.
Right.
You know, and I go back and like really like dive deep into that and say, this is where I'm getting my numbers. This is where I'm getting from. I know this is what you were thinking. So let's say the $3.5 million house, you know, when it comes down to it, the seller might sell for $2.8 million.
Right.
You know, just because she's already moved out the house. And I look at different aspects too. Is the house vacant?
Yeah.
Because if the house is vacant, people tend to, you know, negotiate a little bit more than if there's a family living in it and they have no idea where they're going to go.
Right.
They're just like fishing to see if they can sell the house. So it's like there's so many different scenarios. We could go on and on for
No, but
days.
I love this. So I mean, here's what I've taken out of that so far. Number one is if the house is vacant, there's probably a greater sense of urgency from a seller. You know, ding, ding, ding.
To offset
you know,
the
go
cost of whatever they're doing now.
Go fast, but you can go lower. So speed. Right. And then going lower would be advantageous.
Do buyer agents ever come to you as a listing agent and say, you know, like, hey, my person's really interested. This is where they're thinking. Where would it be offensive? And can you guys talk about that? Or is that kind of
every agent is so different.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just really up to their personality.
Because your goal is to get the best price for them.
And to do a transaction. I mean, our bottom line is to work what's best. Yeah, to sell and to do what's best for our client.
Yeah.
You know, both buyer and seller. And I feel like communication is key. Yeah. So if I can, I want to do a transaction with an agent that there's communication between the both of us, because if they're just like, throwing their hands up in the air, I don't necessarily even want to work with them.
Right.
Because it's difficult. But I think that if they call me up on the phone and say, hey, what is your seller's bottom line? Let's try to figure out what we're going to do here.
Or tell me about the situation. What's going on here?
Right. What are your, if a buyer's agent says, what do your sellers want to do? When are they moving?
What's the urgency?
Right. When are they moving?
Do you
when do they
share
have to
all that
move?
info?
If my sellers allow me to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very transparent. Usually 9 times out of 10, the sellers are like, be transparent. Say, I want to wait to the end of school year. I've got a couple listings right now that they don't have to sell right this second. They can wait till the end of school year, which is the end of May, beginning of June, or they could sell now and then buy something now and relocate. But some people are, so I let, the buyers know, listen, this is what the seller's looking for. They're looking to close at the end of school year, end of May, beginning of June, if that's something you're comfortable with. If not, if you have to buy it today, it's going to have to be some more incentives for the seller to sell immediately.
So commercial. So I wanted to go back to
get back to business a little bit.
Let's talk about commercial. My favorite, logic and numbers versus real estate, residential real estate, which is emotions and feelings. Love commercial.
So you can play both sides.
I play both sides. So my dad has been in commercial real estate since I could remember.
Okay.
So that's how I got involved in commercial. My dad is a very well-known commercial broker in the area. So I started diving into it, I would say about 10, 12, 15 years ago, something like that. I would dabble in it. And he would always be like, go back to residential. You can't trust anybody in commercial.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. He's like, let me handle it. Give me your clients and I'll pay you. I'll give you X amount of dollars.
Is it the same concept where the same fees and on average 3 to 6? No.
Everyone tries to screw you in commercial.
It's totally negotiated differently, right?
Totally negotiated differently.
Okay.
Usually the higher up the price is, shopping centers, let's say a $14 million shopping center we might have, there's going to be a lot of hands in that honeypot. One, the agent that referred you, that client's going to want a percentage out of it. Then who's ever the listing agent is probably going to be like, hey, listen, if we're going to do this deal, you're going to kick me back a little extra something too. So, there's a lot of hands in the pot that you're dishing out money to, and then you wind up, you're still going to make a substantial amount of money. But it's a completely different, there's zero ethics in commercial.
No regulation?
No regulation.
I heard it's the wild, wild west.
It is the wild west. You
just do whatever you want.
Yeah, if you do not know people in commercial real estate
and just decide to go in,
good luck.
Yeah.
You got to work for one of these commercial sites, one of these property management sites, and you get to know people that way, and then you can dive off into your own. But going from residential straight into commercial, it's not happening. I've had to use my maiden name a lot to get me through the doors, because if I say Mancini, they're like, who are you? And they'll hang up on me. If I'm like, hey, it's Becky Skeba, they're like, hey, you want to make an appointment? Let's do it. And in commercial, what you need to know is you need everything in writing. If it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. They tell you it's a XYZ commission. It's not. It's just what they said on the phone.
That's residential. That would be any contract. Anything you tell me doesn't mean anything until it's in writing.
Yeah, but there's ethics in residential, and you'll call somebody's broker and be like, hey, listen, your agent was being unethical.
Right.
This is what's going on with your agent.
Commercial, that's your problem.
They're going to be like, did you get that in writing? Who said that? I didn't mean this property. And they know your client is invested in commercials about logic and numbers. So they know your client's going to want to make that deal. So they'll try to screw you any way they can.
We'll get rid of her and let's just take care of this.
Correct. That happens, you have no idea. So as soon as I have a client that likes something, I write something called an LOI, which is a letter of intent, immediately. So I put everything in writing immediately. Because sometimes you'll show your client, and the next thing you know, I'm dealing with an issue right now. I will not name you, but you know who you are, and I'm coming after you. People in this room do know who they are. I will mention it off camera. But they went behind my back and contacted the landlord and worked a deal and screwed me out of a commission just to save themselves an additional $1,500 a year. So now they're going to have to pay for my attorney's fees and everything else. So it's going to cost them more than $1,500 a year.
But you love commercial.
Isn't it stupid?
Love commercial.
I
love it. I love it. It's completely different.
Because it's a good break, right? Instead of you have the emotions and the other stuff over here.
I like them both differently. I love real estate is in my blood. It's what I know. It's what I've done my entire life. So I do love real estate. I love residential because I like helping the people that can't figure it out or do it or whatever. I love getting that buyer to be like, I've tried 50 other agents, nothing ever worked. I'm like, crap, now it's a challenge.
I have to do this. I have to win.
I like a challenge. It's a sick psychological thing that I have, that I love a challenge. I love to be able to do something that somebody else can't do. Just to be like, I did it. You know, I've accomplished it. I'm not like the easier deals. I like too, don't get me wrong, but I like working with those people that have like challenges.
You're like, I won. I did.
Yeah. It's like
the 50 others.
Because real estate's very easy for me. It comes very easy for me. It's like speaking my language. So it's very easy. So when I get that difficult person, I have to use my brain. You know, to think,
all right, let's go.
Let's work things out, scenarios. I got, commercial that happens a lot. They'll be on the market with an agent for a long time. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, what are you going to do differently? So I literally have to look at the big picture and say, how are we going to do this differently than the other agent?
Right.
Same thing with residential. I get expired listings all the time. What am I going to do differently than somebody else? And I'm implementing different strategies and different ways that I do things and market them. So it's like, I love wrapping my head around things like that and like figuring them out. So
I love that.
Just to be a little different.
Smart. Listen, you constantly have to find a different way to promote yourself and angle yourself. We were, so I'm in a BNI group this morning, and this morning I was mentioning how
I hate BNI groups. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean it can be amazing, and it's also like a weekly commitment. So like you have to invest yourself.
And you have to refer to people in your BNI group.
No, you don't the commercial have to do anything.
It's the commercial every week for me. You don't. But I'm just not a creative person.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, it's not the commercial piece is easy. It's I think of them like minutes before.
What was your jingle today?
So today was about marketing and how anybody like who's in sales, like you have to be good at marketing, or you have to love marketing if you're going to be a really good salesperson. Because you have to understand how to catch someone's eye. You have to understand what they're looking for. And one of the examples I used today that I thought was really smart was there's a woman in my BNI group who has I think it's called Sparkle Squad or something like that. So they wash windows and stuff, right, for your house. And so I'm coming back from, I knew she lived around the corner from me somewhere, but I didn't know like which house was hers. I don't have the same stalking skill Sarah does. So I was just walking back.
Sarah the stalker.
So I'm walking back from the tennis tournament on Saturday. And as I'm walking by, I'm like, I see the truck. I see the Sparkle Scrub truck. Squad, whatever it's called.
Sure.
Anyways, the point is that as I approach it, I'm like, I can really see this clearly from where I'm walking. And then I get closer to the house. I'm like, ooh, look at all that room that she could have pulled up to, but didn't. Like, this is perfectly placed in the driveway so that on both sides of Swinton, you can see it. And I'm like, that is marketing. That's someone who is thinking 5 steps ahead that people now, all she's got to do is move her mailbox because that was in the way. There's a little hint for you, Desiree. But outside of that, no, the point is that like, I really like that. Now I love the concept of thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of people. And I think that that's the whole reason where we started this entire show was I love the psychology of how to help educating someone because they have no clue. Buyers have no clue. And I think, by the way, 80 to 90% of agents have no clue also.
I agree.
So
100%.
The key is more about, all right, you get that buyer. Like I say this all the time to people. I'm like, justify it. Where are you coming up with that? With like, if you want to, well, we're going to make an offer on a property. Cool. How'd you get to it? Like I try to stay out of the numbers because it's not my lane. Frankly, and I don't care whether you pay $600, $700. Like the only purpose for what I care about the sales price is simply going to be to make sure that the property is going to appraise,
and
and I'll be able to do my job,
right?
But it does. It's like people have like, and when I hear an agent who's like, I don't know if we're going to get it, I'm like, well, what'd you do? Like, did you give them any justification as to what? Here's how we came up with this number.
Right.
Here's where we think the market's going.
That's not educating your buyer part.
We see a trend go. Both though. So like it's your buyer, but it's also what I would use if I was an agent. It's also what I would use to justify what my offer is.
Correct.
Because the way I look at it is, so I do this in my mortgage world. I might be working with two fantastic, amazing real estate agents and transactions go great. I might be working with two dum-dums, and in order to make sure that my client has a great experience, I got to control everything. I don't care what the agents are doing. I'm going to make sure that our client has a great experience no matter what. Even though they selected a dum-dum, not my fault.
I know. I struggle
Right?
with that too, though, sometimes. It's
But
difficult.
listen, look where we are. You know, they're
100%.
It's everywhere.
But I do feel like it's changing. I feel like those agents, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I feel like those agents that got in during, COVID, quick, easy money in real estate, I'm going to sell a house or two and make all this money. I feel like they're going away. I feel like, we're getting the same agents.
You know what
that
they're
have been in
not
the field
doing,
for a long
though?
time.
Guys, if you're going to leave, unemployment, collect it.
There we go.
So what happened?
Unemployment collected.
Yeah.
No, go into a
No.
referral company and hang your license with us, and I will give you guys 20% for every client you refer me.
But if the unemployment rate
the
goes
reason
up,
I want unemployment is when unemployment goes up, interest rates go down.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a
Self-serving.
joke. I don't actually. Plus,
I'm like, hold on, wait, they can get unemployment?
No,
If they
no, you're
get out of the
self-employed.
field?
I don't know how that
Yeah,
works.
you cannot. No, I didn't think so.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, hold on, wait, what?
1099. But no, in general, and I agree with you. Actually, I think that the numbers are going down.
But I think it became a lot more
The
challenging.
numbers are down for loan officers too.
In the last
There's a lot
couple of
less
years,
of
it's
us.
not just the rush of like COVID and how it was really easy. It was a handful of years of it becoming more and more challenging, less and less buyers, less and less sellers, inventory rates, pricing. And then, last year, NAR, buyer broker agreement, bigger conversations, more relationship building
Exactly.
skills.
They were doing
having to
transactions.
do more work.
Yes, there was
and actually
transaction
prove
agents.
yourself.
Yeah, transaction agents, they're gone. So now you have the agents that had to build their business based upon the referrals and their clients by building their business as opposed to just doing a transaction.
Right.
So
And I think the same thing for us. There's a lot of people that jumped into the mortgage world when refis were crazy and rates were super low and the phone was going off the hook and you could just,
But you know what I love about what our industry is doing, which is what you guys need to do next. Your industry is misaligned or malaligned with the fact that the revenue generator is membership. And the problem with that is that anybody who can stroke a check gets membership and has access to doing this, right?
Correct.
Whereas what's happening on our side of the industry is we are all saying if you don't do enough business, we're making you what's called a junior or referring loan officer, but you have nothing. You don't get my laptop. You don't get access to our CRM. You're not doing enough transactions. So for me, for twofold,
so they are hanging their license and just
you get to
referring.
hang your
Okay.
license.
Which
You
is
still
smart.
can be compensated, but I don't want Sarah I don't want Johnny who does 4 transactions a year to be speaking with your client.
Right.
Like, he's going to muck it up.
Or the
he doesn't know what he's
processors
doing.
or the underwriters or the...
Well, just all of it. Like, he's going to submit an ugly file. It's going to take twice as long to do this, twice as long to do that. He's set expectations completely wrong because he's not in it every single day.
Right.
So we've found a system that allows people to be compensated without doing any work, right? And this whole RESPA concept which I think is a complete joke when they say you have to do this amount of work in order to get compensated. No, those are for people who aren't licensed, by the way. It's not at all how it works. You show me the top 10 loan officers in this country, and I'll show you 10 individuals who don't do a damn thing on any transaction. They have teams. And that's okay. I'm not blaming their business, but then don't say because we didn't make Sarah do something to take the loan application, yet some of these other top players, Shant Baznian, however you say his name, all of these guys, I think
he's the number one
he's
loan
like the
officer
number
in the
one loan
country.
officer in the country. He's with Guaranteed Rate, and
Okay.
he seems like a really great dude. Don't get me wrong. But that guy's not taking a phone call. He's not doing a single thing. He's a rainmaker.
Right.
And that's a business
I
model.
want to be that too.
It is. It's a business model, but it's
Must be
no
nice.
different. It's no
Right.
different than
Some of our local
paying
guys.
some lower
Right,
individual
right.
who doesn't do that. A what?
Some of our local guys. We have local
Yeah.
rainmakers.
Well, no, I didn't mean the rainmakers, but I meant more so there's nothing different than someone who has their license that gets paid for doing nothing.
Exactly.
Same concept.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
You still work with your parents, right? Because
I
both
do.
of them are still...
We're in business together.
Okay, and they do commercial for the most part?
They do 99% commercial. But
Mom
my dad
and
has
dad?
Yep.
Yes.
Is mom a negotiator too?
No. My
Okay.
mom's a cream puff.
So mom's the nice one, dad's the hard ass.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. My mom will like go
Are
and
you
like
in the
show
middle
stuff.
or which way did you lean to?
I'm more like my father when it comes to my business, which is so crazy. So for
Must
my
be great
business,
for relationships.
well, let me tell you. That's what I was just gonna say.
She said
I was just on my next breath on that. So for my, I think this is why I am. I'm working on this. I'm doing a lot of like self-help, but I am so dominating in my career that I've been so submissive in my relationships. Oh. Right. That I'm like, I need to like get
Step
more of
it up
like
a
a
little
backbone.
personally.
Yeah. Because I feel like, because at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. You know, like I am so mentally done, like arguing with everybody, negotiating everything, making literally $1 million. I work with like a couple people that I oversee their construction for their properties from ground on up. And we're not talking like $500,000. We're talking like $10 million properties. And I'm literally watching, I'm making $1 million decisions every single day. So come towards the end of the day, if I'm on a date with somebody, done. So if I'm on a date with somebody, they're like, where do you want to go? I'm like, wherever you want to go. And they're like, why do you got to be so easy? I'm like, because I make decisions all day long.
Yeah.
So to have a man be a man, make those plans for me. Tell me where to go. Tell me what like, what's the attire and what time I should be there. I will meet you there with bells on and be the happiest person in the world.
That I will jump in the dating pool for.
Love.
Yes. Be the man and lead.
Be the man and lead. And if you're that type of man that you do that, oh my God, I love it. So I think that's why I say I'm so submissive, because I have to all day long be on my game.
So I'll talk to this.
So talk to us.
I'll talk. So because for me, I deal the exact same thing you do. And so like for me, I'll give the woman an option. Do you want me to continue being, because I make decisions all day, every day as well.
But do you mind carrying it over into your personal?
So it's just about knowing. So like if you're dating someone and they've shared with you that they don't want to be the decision maker, fine, not a problem. I'll continue. I'll just make decisions the whole time.
But is that a turnoff for somebody that does it all day long?
No, well, that's what I'm getting at. It's not. It's about communication. So we are in sales. We're chameleons. I can adjust to my environment no matter what it is.
Right.
So if I came home to a very domineering woman, right, who's used to running the house the way that she wants to, and she wants to run it that way, like as long as like it's not overstepping the way my brain thinks, I'm okay with that. Just as I am if you say, I don't want to make any decisions when it's time to come home, like, great. Now, that also means you have to support my decisions. Like,
100%.
I'm not interested
He's like
in
Mexican,
like,
you're like, absolutely not. That's
you make the
disgusting.
decisions and then
Oh, no, see, I would never do that. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
No.
I'm the
But
same.
if I want an option, I will be very upfront and beg, give me a couple options on what you're thinking. You know, I'm very transparent and I will I'm an adult. You know, I can communicate and use my words, which I've learned before. I used to like bottle up my feelings and emotions and not say anything and just be quiet about it, as opposed to like starting an argument. And now I've learned
So you're
like
non-confrontational.
I hate confrontation.
I was too.
But
Are you a
you'll
Virgo
go-
like us?
I'm a Pisces.
But you'll
Which
go
one's
up against
Pisces?
anybody in
fish.
business.
No,
I'm like-
I know what a Pisces is. When's
February 24th.
March.
February 20th. My birthday's
End
on
of-
Monday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Woo, and I've got no kids this weekend. So,
Oh, wow. So wait, what are the plans?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting for.
Wise.
I am going to the South Beach Food and Wine. Have you ever been to that?
No.
Oh my God, it's a blast.
Is it?
Oh,
I had fun last weekend.
yeah. Some dope soul made her
I went
take
to
it.
Crazy Uncle Mike's, which who
Was
would
that
have
your
thought?
first time there?
I've been there for like events, like because our office is right there.
I was going to say your office is right down the
Literally
street from
right down the street. I've been there for like a couple things, but it's like I'm there for like an hour and I leave. I saw some reggae band there this weekend.
Oh, fun.
A Bob Marley reggae band. I had the time of my life. I met like all these new people. Super fun.
Do you have any dates set up for this weekend?
Not now. Not right now. I do not.
Got it.
I mean, it is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, so I guess I better figure.
Usually by
whoever the
Wednesday, you need
person-
to make your plans for the
So,
weekend.
So I can go to the Keys with one of my daughters and my best friend, but I don't know yet what I want to do.
Like if I was in the dating world.
Which you are.
Okay. But if I was seeing someone, which I'm not
Bravo.
today.
by Wednesday, I would like to know if they plan on spending time with me.
But isn't there like a lot of moving parts? So, you know, we have kids. Things happen.
True. So that's even more so why
You know what I mean?
I
Like-
would want and I don't think this is out of line or asking for too much. It would be like, hey, I'd love to see you this weekend. What do you have going on with the kids? which night would be best? Or, kind of ask me, but send it to me as like, I want to see you. I'd like to spend time with you. Let's set something up. And if it's, super packed, I've got kids stuff, I can't do this weekend. Why are you looking at me like that? Is that too much? Is that asking for too much?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not looking at you any which way.
You're looking at me like I'm asking for the world. No, but I think it's like a respect thing. It's respect my time. Don't call me on Friday and be like, what are you doing this weekend? Really? Is that
I
bad?
think it's hard. Well, I have my kids full time. My ex-husband does not take my kids. I have my kids full time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like hard sometimes. My kids are both going away this weekend, but God forbid something happens, like one of them, and it's just me. Granted, I have my family. I'd be like, hey, Mom, come take my kids. But I mean, it's hard sometimes. I've met like a lot of guys too that like they have kids and all of a sudden they think their ex is taking them. All of a sudden they're like, surprise, you got your kids this weekend, So it's like,
no, I get that. But yes, but in like a world where, yes, things could change last minute. The kids could,
right.
Your daughter could want you to go to the Keys with her. He could, whatever. But I think, a couple days out from the weekend, I think it's polite and I think it's just shows that you're thoughtful and, aware.
I
but I
agree,
think in general, that's probably why it's probably more common. What?
That's why I'm not dating.
No, it's probably why it's
thinking.
more common where single parents end up dating other single parents.
Well, because they understand. Back to our original point.
Well, it's understand, but it's also about so understanding is one thing, but like if let's say like if the weekends are the only time, and all of a sudden like the weekend gets blown up, it's a long time before you get to see someone again. Just is. So
not really. I mean, I could see them during the week. You just have to make plans.
Listen,
like,
this weekend sucked. We had plans and it, everything went to shit or whatever. How about I take you out to dinner next Thursday? Can you grab a sitter? Can I grab a sitter for you? What? That would be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so that is a weird one. With you guys wanting the guy to pay for a sitter for your kids that he's
my
never
kids don't
met.
need a sitter. I don't
well,
know
that's what
anything
she
about
just
that.
said.
She said it. I don't know anything about that.
No, but that's
why I'm
South
like, that's
Florida.
not going to happen.
That's not South Florida. Hold on a second. That's not South Florida.
Let me send you an Uber. Let me start paying for your bills before we've even met.
No. I don't want anybody
lining
paying.
Yourself up.
No, I don't want anybody paying
douchebags.
for my bills because I don't want. I have a thing with being controlled, so that's not going to work. But. For me, it's a timing thing. It's show interest, be thoughtful, and be considerate of the fact that, I work, I have a career, I have kids. So calling me the day of to be like, you want to meet me and grab drinks at this bar, like that's...
Not in disagreement with that. I'm just talking about, I'm cracking at the joke that you made about the man paying for the sitter, and I'm saying you've been hanging at Meat Market too much.
Oh, wait, what night is it? Wednesday.
Hold
on, I hear it. I gotta go. I'm going.
I've never been.
Can we go?
We're going tonight.
We can't go tonight, but I have a dinner tonight.
She's going to some like Israeli place up in West Palm. Supposed to be great.
I am.
I backed out. I didn't want to go to this place.
Oh.
But we should go on a Wednesday night because it's a blast.
What I hear. My brother had told me that there's 10 guys for every one woman. On Wednesday. I've been there a ton on
but
Friday.
then there's like 20 women for every one guy.
Now I know why I've never been there and why I'm not going.
The reason why you've never been there is because of you're an ageist.
I'm
an ageist. Oh, so you like them young?
Yes.
Well, take it easy with define the term young.
Still able to produce and want to have children.
Yes.
You want to have children?
Of course. I shouldn't say of course, but yes.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, so people our age are not.
Like, what age group do you like? Oh, and I want another question for you. Oh, early 30s. That's not okay. That's
late
okay.
20s to
now you're pushing it.
To like
you were better off in 30. Now you say late 20s.
No,
so what? What's old?
Late
35.
I mean, I don't. No. So
wait, how old are you?
I don't. We don't need to put any definitions. Age is just a mindset.
In general, I would say he's late 20s to early mid 30s.
Wait, and how old are you?
He is closer to 50 than he is to 40.
That's not even true. Well, to 50 than 40, I'm 46.
Okay, you're 46.
But I don't look it.
46. So I'm going to be 43 on Monday. Mm-hmm. And I've got a 22-year-old son.
See, that's what I'm getting at.
Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah, that's what my cool.
Yeah, but I'm 20 years from my mom. So my mom's 66.
Okay.
My grandmother who's passed would have been 86. So like, I get it.
So
but now it's a different ball game.
It is, but don't you worry? Like people are gonna like look you up and like use you for your money.
I mean, it hasn't really happened yet.
I just feel like in that age group,
In theory, right?
Right.
I mean,
Well,
you
she's
can't
being
use me for
quiet.
my money unless you get pregnant. So
I don't think that
other than that,
I don't think that anybody has used him for his money because they're not getting money from him. However,
I'm not dumb like that either, Becky. Like I'm
I
not
think
paying
that-
somebody's bills.
no,
and stuff
he's
like
not
that.
doing any of
Smart.
that. But I do think that like girls are smart and they do notice like
they know how to manipulate a man.
No, not even that. But I think they notice the lifestyle that you have and that you like, nicer dinners or you drive a nicer car. And I think they pick up on those things. And I think their hope is eventually there will be, some sort of
What's your longest
you pay for their
relationship?
babysitter, or you pay
3
for
years.
their
Okay.
rent.
The what? But yeah,
Pay for their babysitter, you said? Pay for their babysitter.
No, but I think you can
I've never had anybody do that.
do all of that
Me neither.
stuff. Like you can do, I don't know. For me, we're in a position right now, we're growing our company. I invest a tremendous amount of my time into our business and what we're doing. And
Sorry, I just got to tech my children to walk home.
no, but but that's the part of it. And like you like, this is my priority. This is what I do. And you got to meet somebody and that works with that schedule and understands. And like when somebody, like to me, like the downside with the complete dreamer is the complete dreamer who wants to travel around, like, all right, well, you got to, like, you need to date Bill
Daddy's got
Belichick.
to pay for the flight. Who's going to
well,
be
it's
doing
not that? But it's like the point is like you got to wait. Like it's not, like I'm not there in my career yet. Like I don't want to travel around for months on end, for weeks on end. Like no.
I'd like to travel. There's so much of the world I haven't seen. I was married for so long and I was a mom for so long. So for me now, like where I'm at in my life, I'd like to travel like
You already did your hard time. I get it.
Exactly. So now I'm kind of, and I have a great career. I've been in my career for a very long time. And for me, I feel like,
You're there. Like you did the work of young kids. You did the work of creating the career where you have a name and you have a reputation and you have the relationships and everything else. So like you've done all of that. Now is when you get to kind of.
So my stress though, I go into my business. I recreate myself. I'm doing rebranding my marketing again. I'm changing my social media again. Like I'm developing because I'm stressed out. So it's like I dive into my business.
Why do you, so okay, perfect. Let's go back to that though.
Sure.
Why do you why change it?
Because I feel like I need change in my life. So I can't change my entire life. I'm a mom. So why not change my business up? So I've been changing my videos. I just got like 7 videos produced. I just released my first one this week. And then I'm going to be dropping one for my properties. I'm just doing things a little bit differently.
Is that your market update?
No.
But that's
that
not a
you do,
change
right?
to
Yeah,
your.
that I've been doing
That's
for the
not a
last 2
change
years.
to your branding. You're not rebranding yourself constantly.
I'm looking into rebranding just because I feel like it's something I can control, right? I can't control my stress. I can't control what's coming in.
But you're not like, okay, so don't rebrand over and over.
No, I don't rebrand over and over.
You're better off like finding new outlets, new creative outlets to allow your natural skill set to flourish, but your brand should be like the stable part of your business, the rock, which is whatever you are greatest at. Mm-hmm. If it's the commercial stuff, it's the residential, the things that you enjoy, and then take little extensions of go down a different path, learn something new. I don't know. I don't like seeing when people rebrand too much because it almost looks worse because it looks like you're whatever you were doing before wasn't working or you weren't good at that, so you're coming out new with something else.
I see where you're going with it. I'm
It's
not
like imagine a
rebranding. I'm
restaurant-
changing my social media up.
Okay.
I'm changing the way I was
get what
doing
I'm saying?
videos.
Strategy.
Your
Yes.
favorite restaurant changes menu and looks every
Yes.
2 years. It's like, that's too much.
I
Every
agree.
10 years, maybe.
I agree.
But
I
like,
agree.
that's all I was saying.
Yeah, no, I just felt like I needed something different. I needed to look forward to something. I had my podcast for a couple years. It wasn't.
Still doing it?
I am not. It wasn't exciting me anymore. I needed to take a break for a second. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to start it again in a month from now.
I think this is very much a woman trait, though, because it's like, when you're a kid and you would
Getting bored of something?
We
Not
get
bored.
we just we need change and fresh and new, and I guess we get bored. I get bored.
I want to get more excited
Doesn't
for what I'm
sound
doing.
like a single mentality whatsoever. Now, does it?
What about chasing? Do you like when a woman chases you? Since we're talking about relationships
Depends
and
how
everything.
fast she is.
But I mean, like, you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I think
like an aggressor.
And what is chasing? You know, I keep hearing these things, like these self-help things, like I don't chase, I attract.
Yeah, I hear those too on Instagram.
What are you chasing? Like, what is chasing considered?
so. First of all,
I think chasing in that space is like, you know, being too easily available and just kind of always being like right there waiting for them to be like, can I take you out?
let's go back to
Right?
this comment. I don't chase, I attract. I guarantee the girl who says that is a smoke show. And any smoke show is always attracting. So, like, there's nothing difficult for what they're doing. The biggest thing they can do is muck it up by being a complete idiot.
Sometimes they can't keep.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
attract,
no,
but,
but you
like, it falls
attract, but
off.
they say something like they just don't have a brain or who knows, whatever it is. Like, I think the rest of us who are attractive, but not the Brad Pitts of the world, right? Like, you have to find something else. Like, you have to know. Go back to business. It's just like, you know, it's just like business, where you have to know what your value prop is. What are you good at? Why do people like you, right? And accentuate those things. Don't worry about what you're not, right? Like,
You should be a dating coach.
Yeah, but tell me, so what is it? What is,
it's just psychology. It's sales.
so what is chasing?
It depends for
Like
who.
she said, so like you said, like make yourself available. Don't you
Chasing
want
for you or chasing for me?
A girl.
They're two different
a
things.
girl chasing a man?
I don't-
So don't
I
you
mean-
think that you want to show a man that you're interested though?
Oh, here.
But I
Because
think
it's
that
like
they,
it's such like a confusing. Like there's so
DM,
many rules.
DMing every single day, commenting on the
yeah,
pictures
that's a lot.
all the time.
Yeah,
like,
that's is
being
that
too
chasing?
much.
yes, it's like I know
like,
you're
yes,
very
I
thirsty
get
right
you
now. I
like
get
me.
it.
We're
So
good.
that's desperate. So there's a difference between desperate and chasing.
No,
I think
'cause
desperate and chasing could be more
desperate
similar.
would be if you're doing it to everybody.
I think-
Chasing is when you're doing it to one person.
I think if you are
Okay.
and again, I've been out of practice for a very long time, but I think if you're like spending time with somebody, there's a difference between them knowing that you're interested and like want to continue to see how this develops, and then also being like up their ass all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think so. You know, it's funny that you say the relationship coach. I actually think it's really, really easy to give advice
Well, it's like that with everything.
because it's not emotional.
For you.
For anyone, when you're giving advice, it shouldn't be emotional to you. To you to give me advice on what to do with this paint, like it doesn't emotionally affect you.
Yeah.
So like it's the same concept. So it's just about sales. It's about empathy, putting ourselves like, all right, how would I feel? What do I like?
You can help your sellers get through the situation because you're not emotionally attached to the house. So you can be that outside source that kind of can guide them, give them the advice,
Right,
Same
and
thing.
kind of help them, you know,
I'll list it for $2
agree
million,
with
but just so
the
you know,
buyer's
this thing's
agent
not
to be
worth
like, okay,
more
but
than X.
here are the comps, and this is this, and it's because you're not attached to it. But then the second it's your house, you're like, whoa, 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 they are way out of line.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think where people say when they say attract, right? Like for me, what I would tell someone who is seriously interested in dating and finding someone is start with things you enjoy that make you happy. There's nothing
100%.
There's nothing more attractive than seeing. You know, I'm not talking. This is like beyond the you know, like at our age and stuff like that, right? Like if you're doing something that you enjoy doing, don't put the resting bitch face on. Get rid of that face and smile.
Well, sometimes we can't help it. It's just the way our muscles relax.
But I also feel like
Wow,
people
that sounds
do
like
things.
a wonderful excuse.
But I do feel
It's
like
the way
when
our
you're first
muscles
dating,
I'm not going to
relax.
sit here like this.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're so fine, but the point, well, first of all, this isn't the space that I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is do something that will make you naturally
Make you
smile
glow.
and be happy. Glow's a great word. And then that makes you more approachable. I also think that like there's a period of time for men, like if you're non-confrontational, okay, so was I I think that non-confrontational people probably don't approach other people because if you're non-confrontational, you probably don't like failing either. And asking someone,
of course,
and asking someone out and getting and not getting someone that's interested, that's failure. So
you're going to find somebody in a negotiation, an open house, or somewhere where you are like in charge, but like glowing.
See, I don't date people in our industry.
No. See, this is why she's not a coach. Don't meet people in an open house. This is 100% how you get yourself in trouble.
in my business.
But it's where she's happy.
Hard.
No, that's where I'm conducting my control.
Yes, Sarah. My point is that find the stuff that you love to do that are genuinely happy. Whatever that is, there's got to be something. And if you don't have that something, you need to go do your love, eat, pray, BS tour, whatever it is. But go out there and find the stuff.
I know what I love. I know what makes my heart happy and what sets my soul on fire.
What do I like to do outside of here?
Pickleball.
Okay, so I love pickleball. That's one thing, right?
Your dog. Beach.
I love my dog. So anything to do with a dog is easy, and I love to cook. So those are natural for me. I would have anyone over for dinner all the time because I love to cook. Like, it's not pressure, it's fun. So find something that you enjoy doing. So for me, I like having people over for dinner. It doesn't have to mean that it's anything beyond a dinner, but like it's fun to do that stuff. I love to go to if you have a dog, do a dog, like whatever it is. But
interesting.
All right, we digress.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up.
Yep.
2025. What are you most looking forward to?
I honestly think, and this is going to sound crazy because I know agents look at me like I'm crazy when I say this, I really think this is probably going to be my best year yet in real estate, just because of how my feet hit the ground running so far and what I see the future has for me for this year.
Do it.
So I feel like I said, already I have so many properties listed and all those sellers have to buy something else. And we're just in February. So I feel like this year is just going to probably be one of my best years yet in real estate ever. So I'm super
Kick some
excited.
butt. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
How can people get a hold of you if they want to buy, sell?
Like my Instagram. I need to build my Instagram up. My Facebook is like crazy busy, but my Instagram is not as busy for some crazy reason. But it's Becky Skeba-Mancini. It's SKEBAMANCINI.
Awesome.
Cool. We'll make sure to put it in the show notes. Thanks so much for coming on.
So excited. Thank you.
Okay, that's enough whining for one day. We are so happy that you could join us today on Stop Whining About Real Estate. So please, not only listen, but subscribe, follow us, download, share, and if you're feeling it, give us a 5-star review. Hey, and if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email stopwhining@choicemortgage.com. Thanks so much.